Okay, so you're mentioning that you're having problems with 6 and 7, and that would probably, it may go on into 8 and 9. But if I understood correctly, it's 6 and 7 because of the word diameter, because of that. And I want to go over 7 because 7 is very similar to 8 and so on. But diameter just means that's twice the radius. Now, I don't want to go over too many more on this homework because I want you to be able to do the homework on your own, but I will come up with a problem similar. Let's say I want to graph a circle, okay, and let's just say the center of the circle is 2, 3. I don't know why I put that there. 2, 3. Okay, so that's the center. And with the center, let's say I have a diameter of 8. Okay, so that's exactly the same problem as number 6. I just changed the numbers a little bit. And let's go through, and I'll do 2 like this so you can kind of see what's going on. Now the center is 2, 3, so you go over 2 and up 1, 2, 3, and that's the center of the circle. Okay, with the center of the circle, we know the diameter is 8, but that is twice the radius. So radius has to equal 4. Okay, now diameter is the full length across the wheel or the circle. Diameter is only half of it from the center to the outside. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're like spokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if you count the diameter, it's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But we only needed the radius. Now we have 4 points on the circle. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and there's 4. You just get the coordinate points for those. And get in a little closer, you can see what I'm doing. So we've got the radius, we've got the diameter, we're ready to go. What we need to do is now find the equation for this circle. So we have the circle. It's right here, more or less. Okay. With this circle with a radius of 4, half of the diameter, we need to find out what our formula is. It's going to be something, x minus something squared. Okay. So that's going to be part of it. And then we've got a plus y minus something squared equals the radius squared. Okay, well, what are those parts? What's our x value? Our x value is 2. So x minus 2 squared plus, what is our y value? Our y value is 1, 2, 3. Y minus 3 squared equals, and I'm way off the thing here, equals our radius squared. Well, what's our radius? Our radius is 4. What's 4 squared? 4 squared is 16. So there's the equation for that circle. Okay, let me go ahead and move on, do another one. Let's say our radius is negative 2, 1. Or our center, sorry. So that's the center. And let's say the diameter is, I don't know, 12. Okay, that would make the radius half of that number, which would be 6. Okay, so let's find the center of the graph. It's negative 2, 1. So here's the center. The radius is 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now we have our 4 points that we can just plot, get the points. So like, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, comma 1. That would be one of the points. Okay. Now we need to know the equation. So we've got 2 parentheses separated by a plus equals the radius squared. Okay. Well, what's the first parentheses? It's x minus a negative 2. Well, what's minus a negative 2? I'm just going to write it for now, and we'll go back to that in a second. Okay, y minus our y, which is 1. Okay, so y minus 1 and our radius squared, so that would be 36, 6 times 6. Now what's a minus 1? That would translate to x plus 2 plus y minus 1 equals 36. So you can see you just change the minus and negative into a plus, and that becomes your answer. Okay, so that's how you find an equation with the circle, with the diameter. So back to the actual question. Graph the circle with the center at negative 1, 2. Okay, so that's going to be your center. And a diameter of 12, what would that make the radius? The radius would equal 6, half of the diameter. Label 4 points and write the equation. Okay, so hopefully the way I did it helped a little bit. Okay, now let's look at this one. Number 7. Graph the circle with the center of 3, negative 2. Okay, so 3, negative 2, which also passes through the point 0, 2. So 0, 2. And label the center, label the center and at least 4 points on the circle, write the equation of the circle. Well, we have one of the 4 points right there. Okay, so we only actually need to find 3, but we need to find the equation. Okay, well, this is the radius right here, because that's the circle and that other point is on it. So we have the radius, and with that radius we can say, all right, well, how do we get from here to here? And we see the right triangle. So with the right triangle we say, okay, how far is it from here to here? Well, that's the change in y. That would be from 3 to 0, that would be 3. Okay, from here to here, that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we know the sides of 2 of the triangles. Let's find the, write the equation. We say, okay, 3 squared plus 4 squared equals x squared. Okay, this being our x right here. All right, well, what's 3 squared plus 4 squared? That's 9 plus 16 equals x squared. So this is just the Pythagorean theorem. And we say, okay, 9 plus 16 is 25 equals x squared. Well, if we take the square root of both sides, we see that x equals 5. So that side is 5. Great. Now we have our radius. That's our radius. And we have the center point. So our equation is 2 parentheses divided, separated by a plus sign, and then equals the radius squared. Okay, well, the radius squared is 25. We get that 5 times 5, or just before that step right there. And we have x minus, what's our x coordinate? Our x coordinate is 3 for the center. So x minus 3. And what's our y coordinate? Our y-coordinate is -2, so minus a negative. Y minus a -2 is the same thing as y plus 2. And both of those are squared. I forgot to mention that, but both of those are squared. And so that is the equation for that circle. So as you go on to 8 and 9, just find the center, find the point it goes through, find the measurement between the two sides, square it, add them together, and use the Pythagorean theorem to go through and find out how big the radius is. And that goes right there. So we know how big the radius is. And then you square it and plug it in, and then you plug in your center right there. I'm not sure exactly what's confusing you. So please, if this doesn't help, please send me a detailed email explaining to me exactly where you're getting lost so I can kind of help you a little more detailed. Like I always say, when you go into a doctor, you don't say it hurts and then he says, where does it hurt? And you say, I don't know, it just hurts. You've got to be specific. So if you're still confused, I need to know exactly where you're getting confused. If you're confused about the whole thing, I'm not sure how to help that. So let me know just where I'm losing you or if this helps a lot. So, all right, thanks.